have no way of what? That's right.
These are the time.
So that's right. So either you time yourself or ask me to give you a signal when you have 2 minutes left. That makes sense? All right, Denzel. Let's go.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. This sermon will come from the book of Genesis, chapter 37, and I'll read a portion of it. And this is the story, starting in chapter 2, and this is the story of his family. When Jacob's son Joseph was 17 years old, he took care of sheep with his brothers the son of Bilhah and Zilpah. But he was always telling his father about all sorts of things about his brothers. Jacob loved Joseph more than he did any of his other sons, because Joseph was born when he was very old. Jacob had given Joseph a fancy coat to show that he was his favorite son. And Joseph's brothers hated him and would not be friendly towards him. One day, Joseph told his brothers what he had dreamed, and they hated him even more. Joseph said, "Let me tell you about my dream. We were out in the field tying up bundles of wheat. Suddenly my bundle stood up and your bundles gathered around and bowed down to it." His brothers asked, "Do you really think you are going to be king and rule over us?" Now they hated Joseph even more than ever because of what he had said about his dream. Joseph later had another dream, and he told his brothers, "Listen to what I have dreamed. The sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed down to me." When he told his father about his dream, his father became angry and said, "What's that supposed to mean? Are your mother and I and your brothers all going to come and bow down in front of you?" Joseph's brothers were very jealous of him, but his father kept wondering about his dream. And then we'll skip down to the 18th verse. Joseph left and found his brothers in Dothan, but before he got there, they saw him coming and made plans to kill him. They said to one another, "Look here. Here comes the hero of those dreams. Let's kill him, throw him in a pit, and say that some wild animals ate him. Then we're going to see what happened to his dream." Well, today I want to focus on the dream. And the sermon title is "Don't Wake Me, I'm Dreaming." What is a dream? Now, the Hebrew word shalom means dream, and is mentioned 60 times in the Bible. These are prophetic dreams that give a revelation of God and his plan and purpose. In the Bible, dreams were thought to be messages from God, and they were prophetic and symbolic in nature. Now, dreams are a series of thoughts and images and sensations that occur in a person's mind during sleep. When you dream, you have an experience that resembles a waking experience. You hear things, you see things, you have emotions, and although the dream is imaginary, the experience at that time is real. Some dreams can cause you to cry and sweat in the night, especially those fearful ones. Now, dreams occur when the body is at rest in REM sleep. This is when the brain is most active. Dreams are usually clear, vivid, and easily remembered when you awaken. Now, once someone awakens before the dream is over, you don't get a second chance to finish the dream. So you just need to tell somebody, "Don't wake me now. because I'm dreaming. Dreams can also be a person's aspirations or desires to achieve a goal in life. Everyone has goals and aspirations they want to achieve in life. But now there are going to be situations and people that will come to kill your dream if you're not persistent in the process of making your dreams reality. A common thought that we have when we dream is, what did it mean? Was it symbolic? What is this dream trying to tell me? After waking from a dream, no matter if it's a good one or bad one, most people ask these questions. What did the dream really mean? Will the dream come true? Why was I dreaming this? Well, Joseph never asked these questions because God had given him the ability not only to dream, but to interpret or understand his dreams. Now, let's look a little bit at the text here. Joseph, so we can understand better where Joseph was coming from. Joseph was the son of Jacob, and Jacob had moved his family to Canaan. And the older boys were out working in the farm. They were tending the sheep. Joseph was a young man. He was about 17 years old. He would go out and watch his brothers work. He would listen to them talk, and then he'd go back and tell his father bad things that they said or did. So Joseph wasn't altogether innocent. He had his issues too. To gain a better picture of what was going on in this passage, you need to understand some of their family dynamics. Jacob had fallen in love with his wife Rachel years before this passage began. You may be familiar with the story of how Jacob was tricked into marrying Rachel, Rachel's sister Leah, and how he had promised to work for 7 years to marry Rachel. She was the love of his life. Well, during this time, Rachel couldn't have any children. So Joseph had children with Bilhah and Zilpah, who were slave girls that he had taken for his concubine. Now, these were the mothers of Joseph's brothers. So they were his stepbrothers. And they didn't have the same mother and father. Later, God blessed Rachel to have 2 children of her own. And that was Joseph and Benjamin. Now, Joseph, as we said, was the favorite of them all. But the problem we see and played out in this passage is they had a lot of family dynamics going on at the same time. They were a blended family. And blended families, siblings tend to see where the parents are playing favorites with the other children. Now, favoritism was openly displayed by both Jacob and Rachel. The situation got worse when Joseph was given a coat from Jacob, his father. The coat was beautiful in color. Not only was it a beautiful coat, it was special. It represented royalty, superiority, and dominion. This made the brothers hate Joseph even more. The straw that broke the camel's back was when Joseph rubbed his dreams in their noses. He dreamed that they would bow down to him one day. Then in another dream that he would rule over not only them, but his parents. During his first dream, he saw bunches of grain in the field stand up while his brother's grain bowed down. In the second dream, he saw the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowing down. The brothers were able to interpret the dream. I found that interesting because they immediately asked Joseph, do you really think that you are better than us? And do you even think that we would bow down to you? Remember, dreams are prophetic messages from God. But if you awaken before your dream is complete, the dream will end unfulfilled. Have you ever been dreaming and had someone awaken you, leaving you to wonder how that dream would have ended? Or have you dreamed you were running from somebody and wondered what would happen if they caught you? Recently, I had such a dream. I was dreaming and I was running and I was about to fall off a cliff. And then the phone rang. And I never got to see the end of my dream. Because Joseph's dreams were prophetic messages from God, there were obstacles in the way to their fulfillment. When God places a dream in your heart, you must know that obstacles will come to disrupt your dream. When his father learned of the dream, he too became angry with Joseph for a little while. And Joseph thought that the whole family would bow down to him. In other words, they wanted to wake him up and stop him from dreaming. After pondering on the dream, Jacob started to have a change of heart and listened to what Joseph had told him. Perhaps because Jacob was also a dreamer himself. Joseph was young and immature and made unwise decisions about telling his brothers about the dream. Sometimes we make decisions in haste, just like Joseph. But know this, when God gives you a dream, other folks may not believe in you or support you through the process. But don't let that stop you. You just keep on dreaming. Joseph's brothers became so angry till they plotted to kill him. In the midst of their anger, they were so concerned about Joseph's dreaming that they didn't realize the outcome of the dream. Sometimes we get anxious about what God is saying, and we forget the process of reaching our goal. Therefore, the scripture says in Proverbs 4:7 that we need to have wisdom, because wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, in all your getting, get understanding. God protected Joseph, and he was saved from death by his brother Reuben. Now, I found it interesting that he was saved by Reuben, because Reuben was the oldest son, who would have been eligible to receive the coat. But it was Joseph. As Joseph grew older and wiser, his dreams did come true, but not without those obstacles in his way. He was almost killed by his brothers. He was sold into slavery and forced to work in a foreign country. He was thrown in prison and forgotten. He was falsely accused of rape. But if at any point he would have given up and allowed these obstacles to make him give up on what God told him, his dreams would not have come to pass. Joseph's dreams became reality 13 years after he dreamed. He became second in command to the Pharaoh, and the people bowed down to him as he ruled over Egypt. When his family experienced famine, Jacob and his sons had to go to Israel to buy food. Because he ruled the land, they had to bow their faces to the earth, just like in his dreams. When others decided to defeat Joseph by attacking him, they only put his dreams to the test. If dreams are really from God, they cannot be defeated. I want to encourage those of you who have dreams and aspirations that God has placed in your heart and mind to keep on dreaming. Through all adversity, Joseph never gave up. So if you're dreaming, you're moving closer to your goal. Don't awake me, because I'm dreaming. Along the way, Joseph was loved and hated and favored and abused and tempted and trusted, exalted and abased. Yet at no point did he ever stop dreaming. In my conclusion, I just want to encourage you to follow your dreams wherever they lead. Whatever problems you face in life that cause you to feel like you want to wake up before your dream is complete, you just tell that problem, don't wake me now, because I'm
dreaming. All right, yeah.
Let's quickly evaluate Sherry. Quickly, structurally, Jeffrey?
I believe the structure was pretty good. I personally thought that maybe there was a little, I won't say redundancy, but she kind of repeated a few things, and I was missing, did you ever get to the 3 points of the sermon?
Well,
That's
Right. Okay, right, there were no points.
okay.
Okay. So that's one observation. This is a structural observation,
Right.
particularly related to the absence of division statements. And division statements actually teach the principles of the story or the text. So even if it's a story like Joseph, I have to find some kind of way to ask some questions. What is it teaching? One of your points could have been about dreams are prophetic messages.
That's what I thought it was, yeah.
Okay, you could have developed that as a point deriving from the text, showing that Joseph was in the prophetic stream in terms of a message from God.
And I was gonna say, one of the other points I picked up was obstacles will come
Right.
to obstruct the dream.
Yeah.
So I wrote it down,
I
but
did
I
too.
didn't know if that was the point, but it was just good to me, though. But I think, you using an example of, a dream that you had was a good illustration of, tying us in. And I think, like Dr. Fullwood said, if you would have, just expounded on that more, I think you would have been able to pull us in even more. And you smiled, and even that part was a little humorous. So we got a chance to see a little bit of your personality, which I thought was good.
Okay. Phyllis?
I thought the title was interesting, so I was looking forward to what you were gonna say next. I thought your description or explanation of what a dream is, I thought that was really good, how you defined that and referenced that back to the text.
Okay. Anyone else? Chris?
Yeah, I mean, just going by, I guess, the evaluation, I could have been more Christ-centered, but I thought you did an excellent job tying your title into your conclusion. You started with that point, and then you ended with that, so we have a clear understanding of the message.
All right. Was that what kind of sermon was that? Okay. It wasn't really expositional. Right.
I thought it
It
was
was.
topical.
I thought it was more topical
I did too, that's what I thought.
Okay.
because it was about what?
Dreams.
Yeah, and she preached about what?
Dreams.
Dreams. So I thought it tilted toward topical preaching, and your emphasis was on what?
Dreaming.
Dreaming. But not necessarily the emphasis on dreaming from a prophetic biblical context. You alluded to it, you mentioned it, but the crux of your sermon should have not been on just dreaming. Okay, so I thought it was more topical. Okay, because again, that was the strand throughout your sermon. So just want you to be able to determine when you're doing, be able to distinguish between topical preaching, expository preaching, or exposition preaching, and narrative. Okay, we gotta move on. Sherry, any last comments from you?
No, my nerves are coming down.
Oh, that's fine.